Hey, young people, I'm going to talk about a black man that was arrested. That's him, okay? What's his name? Raheem Scott. He was arrested. I know all the Black Lives Matter will be here. There's this racist picking on this poor guy. He's black. He hates black people. All right, you big dummies. This guy got arrested for shooting a couple people. Oh, Rick, you're just promoting black hate. You're just a racist, and you're trying to get people to hate blacks. If you just shut up and listen once in a while, you might figure out that I don't fit your agenda. So what happened here was Mr. Raheem goes into the store. He's visiting his mom at the hospital, dying of cancer or something. And he stops at the store, leaves his car running, runs in the store to grab something. Comes out of the store, and two knuckleheads jumped in their car. And is still in their car. So Raheem, being a good American gun-toting citizen he is, pulls out his gun and shoots these guys still in his car. The guy in the car driving, still in his car, dies. So the government, in their infinite wisdom of protecting criminals, arrest Raheem for murder. Now that's some bullshit. Now, if I was a racist black hater that everybody calls me about, I'd be like, oh hell, he's black, good, he belongs in jail. Look, I'm not about color, I'm about behavior. This guy did what he was supposed to do. I'm not defending him because he's black, and I'm not defending him because he's not black. I'm defending him because he was right. He came out, they were stealing his car. Back in the day, if you stole a man's horse, that was a hanging offense. You take his ass out, you grab a posse, and you go hang him. And there was no problem with that. It was legal. Well, Rick, that was violent. That was bad. Yeah, that was back when people had consequences. That was back when criminals didn't run the land and get free everything, money to survive till they plan their next crime. The purpose behind that is because if you steal a man's horse and he's out in the desert or somewhere, or he's out in the country and he needs medical help, that's his only way to get food, water, make a living. That was considered a serious offense, and that was punishable by death. I got no problem with that. I wish they'd bring it back for stealing cars. You know what? Car theft would drop overnight. Rick, that's mean you can't, why can't you? You can do whatever you want to deal with the problem. See, what people keep saying is we can't, and then when it blows up in a revolution, people are like, how did we get here? What happened? I'll tell you why. Because everybody ignored common sense until enough people are fed up and they go, you know what? Enough's enough. So Raheem got arrested. I think the DA arrested him as a piece of shit. Now, they're not giving all the details. And again, my default is we never get all the details and it's somehow, you know, left out or changed. But this guy came out and shot a dude defending his property, his car, his way to make a living. He couldn't go visit his mom. I mean, if he had tools in the car, he couldn't make a living. If his car was gone, he didn't have insurance, he's screwed. If he had a job and he couldn't get to work, he would lose his job. If he lost his job, he could lose his house. All these problems because these knuckleheads are still in the car and now he's in jail. That's some bullshit, okay? And, I mean, technically I understand the law that in order to shoot somebody, you have to be in fear of your own safety or others. So, how could he have shot these guys legally? He could do what the cops do. He could have jumped in front of the car, pulled out his gun, and said, stop. And if they tried to run him over and he shot him, he would have been covered. See, his problem was when he came out of the store, he saw him, he drew and shoot, and now the government is going to say, how are you in fear of your life? You could have let him drive away. They couldn't run you over. You were in no danger. There was no threat. And you're screwed. Now, hopefully, his defense is going to say, and if they stole my car and I shot him, my defense would be, hey, I got guns in that car. And theft of a gun is a felony, and it's a violent felony. And if he gets out, he could use those guns to kill people. And if he's still in a car, it's reasonable for me to believe that when he finds my guns, he's going to use them in other illegal acts and possibly kill somebody. Therefore, I was protecting other people's safety as well as my own. Because if I came out and I didn't shoot him, and he found one of those guns, he could have pulled it on me and shot me before I shot him. So that would be my justification to shoot somebody, and to me that's reasonable. Would a court find it reasonable? I don't know. Would a jury convict me? I don't know. But you have to remember when you use deadly force, the reasonable standard and the caveat to deadly force, you must be in fear of your safety or others. And in fear is not just fear of, I was scared, in fear of seriously bodily injury and or death. Those are the key things about it. If you remember that when you use deadly force, you'll be okay. Before you give a statement, if you talk to an attorney, I don't know if this guy gave a statement. Other things I don't know. I don't know if the guy he used a gun that was stolen. Oh, Rick, you're just picking on a black man because he's black, he stole. I'm not saying that. I'm saying these are things that if they charged him that I don't know. If the gun was stolen, now he's got issues. If the gun was unlawfully possessed because he was a prior felon, he's got issues. If the gun was, I don't know, bought illegally, he's got issues. So there's all kind of issues that could come up. So I don't know any of those, but just on the face from what I know, and that's the only thing I can evaluate, on the face of it, he was stopping this car from running. I would be arguing as his defense attorney, expert witness, whoever, saying, hey, if these guys are going to steal this car and he's got a gun and he knows, now these people know that they're in a stolen car, they know the cop's going to be after them, the likelihood of them driving dangerously, the likelihood of them killing somebody, the likelihood of the cops getting in a pursuit, because I guarantee you, I worked all of that for 3 years and I'm telling you, car thieves never stop. They always run. I've never had a stolen car that I turn on my lights and they pull over and said, you got me, I give up. It's never happened. I've never known of a car thief giving up when they're caught. Now, you watch the bait cars, they're trapped in, they can't run, the car shuts off, they give up because they have no choice. But if car thieves have a choice, when they're in a car, they're going to run and they're going to drive reckless and dangerous and they're going to kill people and they're going to run people over and they're going to hit somebody and kill a wife or a kid or a family or whoever. They are dangerous people. So my argument for this guy's defense would be these guys were dangerous. All car thieves are dangerous. They never give up. If they got away, they were going to be in danger in the public lives, the officers, and another thing is, as a cop, as a retired cop, I put a lot of people in prison. I don't know if somebody's out of prison, and if they get my information, now they know where I live. How do I know this isn't a parolee? Now again, you can't use too much on what you think or what you can come up with afterwards. Most deadly force situations are what you know or thought at the time you used it. So, I know right now that if my car gets stolen, it could possibly be somebody I arrested. Somebody could have followed me. Somebody, could have tracked me down. It could always, somebody sees me and go, I know that dude. He's the guy that put my brother away for life. I'm going to call him right my brother. My brother pays him and says, hey, if you take him out, hey, steal his car. I know he keeps guns in his car. Or do this. Find out where he lives. You steal his car, we can get his registration, and then we'll find out where he lives, and we'll go to his house, and we'll kill him or burn down his house. So there's those things that can happen. So is that a reasonable threat? I mean, I don't know how likely it is to happen, but it's absolutely reasonable because it has happened before. It's going to happen again, and so it's a possibility. But again, I can't justify deadly force on a possibility. So I may have created more questions than I answered, but this guy, that's bullshit that he's arrested. But again, I don't know all the facts on how many times he shot. Now supposedly after he shot the guy, the woman in the passenger seat starts screaming, stop shooting, stop shooting. He stopped, went inside, and called 911. So, here's the problem there. If you were scared of your life, and if you were wrecked in your car, how do you know she wasn't going to jump in the car and leave? As a prosecutor, that's what I'm going to be saying. So let me get this straight. You were scared and you shot him, but you weren't scared enough that you turned your back on the car, you walked back to the store, you picked up the phone and you called the police and you left your car with a woman inside it that just tried to steal it and a guy that was bleeding and dying that you just shot up. You weren't scared then, but you were scared when you shot. So see, as on the prosecution side, I'm going to use that against him. On the defense side, I'm going to say, you know what? The guy knew that he couldn't leave. He knew he stopped it. The woman was begging for him to stop. He didn't think she was big enough or strong enough to move him and get the car. He went in, told him to call 911, and immediately turned around. He kept his eye on the car, and if she could try to get in the car, he was close enough to get out and stop her. So that's why he went away. Don't diminish his fear. So it's a juggling act. It's going to go back and forth. Both sides can muddy the water, and the jury will be getting there, getting half the information, going, the law says if you shoot somebody and you're not scared, and I don't really think you're scared, let's vote guilty. And then there goes another, bullshit charge on somebody that was defended. If you defend yourself against a crime, I don't give a shit what you do, you ought to be void for prosecution. And our country could be like that, but it won't, because of damn liberals, and they don't want crooks held accountable. They don't want people held accountable. They want to have the power to juggle and weigh and spend money and put them in diversion and do this program and that program and get them out of jail so they can vote liberal. Because remember, all criminals are liberal. You got to love the Liberal Party. They attract the greatest and wisest. Illegals, Muslims, terrorists, criminals, all those people are liberal. Why? Because they know they're weak and soft on crime. They're going to give them the benefit. They're going to be able to continue to do their carnage. They're going to get free shit. They're going to get aid. That's why they vote liberal. That's why anybody that votes liberal is a freaking idiot in my book. But you know what? I'm sure I just pissed off some liberals. But you know what? If I ain't talking to you, then I ain't talking to you. So we'll end that there on the poor black man that got arrested.